Happy Valentine's Day. Alex Koseri, stunning strength coach from Japan.
Valentine's Day was wonderful. I had a great day.
Really? Do you want to tell us
yeah.
in depth? Which anime did you watch?
Actually, no anime. No.
Which game? Which video game?
We had a solid movie run on. We watched some older stuff. We put on Casino. That's a good one. We put on.
That's a romantic movie.
It is indeed. Yeah. We had Goodfellas on, and then we watched Heat after that. And by we, I mean me. So I was just sitting in front of the TV with my laptop doing work for the week, watching a bunch of old crime movies. But that was it for me.
Yep.
Nice.
Chase Lindley from Houston, Texas. How's things there, Chase? Here it's a bit cold.
What's up, guys? Yeah, we have a winter storm. This is like, every 5 years Texas gets this massive snowstorm, and it just fucks over people who are not used to driving in the snow. And that's where I'm at right now.
Are you one of them?
No, unfortunately, I mean, I've had the opportunity to drive around in snow and ice in Wichita Falls, but we actually made news in Fort Worth about this massive 100-car pileup that killed like 5 or 8 people. Oh, it's terrible. So then if you move down to Houston, which is like they only get snow every, blue moon or 20 years, I have an apprentice here that has never driven on ice. So it's like, well, shit, you need to just lock up and, spend the 2 days that you're going to be gone eating and just resting.
Is she sitting behind you right now?
Well, Phoebe's actually she's had the opportunity to drive on ice, but I don't believe her. Not until you can prove it to me.
I think everybody's first fishtailing experience on ice it's a very memorable moment. It really is.
Yeah, and your brakes locked up, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah. So, all right, MJDC says Heat is severely underrated.
Heat is truly a classic.
I don't think it's underrated. I think it's up there.
I think it's been forgotten a little bit in kind of the panoply of good movies.
It is pretty old now.
You get to see
20 plus years old, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You get to see young Val Kilmer before he got like super drugged up and pretty fluffy. So, one of the last good Val Kilmer movies.
Speaking of fluffy, I don't know if you guys watched Elon Musk on Joe Rogan a couple of days ago. Elon's getting a bit fluffy. I think one of you guys should hit him up and offer him some free online coaching.
Yeah, my boy definitely did a few stacks or a few cycles at some point. Because there was a point in Elon's life cycle where he's like 140 pounds, had no hair, and his jaw was way smaller. And then he got some good doctors involved.
Jeff Riggin said Musk is cultivating mass.
He is. Yeah, he is.
That's a Always Sunny reference, but anyway. All right, let's jump into some videos. We've got an exciting one to start off with. This is the guy who he used to send us form checks from the forest, and he'd be deadlifting rocks, and he built a deadlift machine out of a PVC pipe. Remember Tom J?
Yep.
Yeah, he actually sent in a video. Finally, it looks like he's back in civilization. So we're gonna see how his old Tommy J's going.
It's weird to see him like this.
It is, yeah. I don't believe this is him, to be honest.
So when we're thinking about leaning over to start the rep, that's not you pitching your chest forward, right? So it's like we don't want you to aim your collarbones down at the ground like that or round. So what you want to think about is keeping your sternum aimed up at the wall in front of you. Think about almost like dropping your belt buckle down to the ground rather than tipping forward and leaning into the motion. If you can kind of sort out the upper back movement that's happening, these should feel a whole lot easier for you. But you're bouncing right at depth. Hips are coming up out of the hole. You just got to fix out that upper back.
Yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. He's leaning over by literally shoving his elbows up. And what I like to do to kind of help this is just like imagine a lasso or a piece of rope yanking your hips back, and then you're basically like a folding chair and just fold your torso straight to the floor.
Yep. So anyway, it's good to see you again, Tommy J. Yeah. Jeff Riggins has got a question for you, Chase. He said, how's the Olympic lifting progressing?
Pretty good. I haven't been posting that much because it's kind of like a mental mindfuck in the way that I can't LP because I'm essentially an advanced lifter with the squat, the press, the deadlift, all that stuff. So I mean, I'm gaining some strength in it, but the majority of it is just I'm working on my flexibility. I'm working on getting my elbows through faster, a better rack position, learning different types of jerks and all that stuff. But I'm finally feeling comfortable. Like I did an EMOM with Josh, the Olympic coach here. We did 8 singles at 130, and I felt really good with that. Been power jerking a lot. I'm working on my split jerk, and that's coming around a lot. I need to post more videos so y'all can see the progress. But for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I've written a new program. I'm going to be doing a bunch of front squats, and I'm hoping for my quads just to fucking balloon. I'm like really excited for that.
Dude, you're going to need to get some new jorts.
I know, yeah.
Is that the goal, to just tear them apart like the Incredible Hulk?
I want to like run up to like a massive wreck and just be, like the jaws of life, just squeeze my quads and rip someone's door off if they need it.
That's the goal. That's everyone's goal.
Exactly.
So you're going to sell your template online? Chase's Olympic lifting
$20.
template?
$20.
Yeah, nice. Oh, awesome. Cool. Chuck it on the site and let people give people a discount. All right, let's rip into another form check. Mr. Stixxrud from Norway with 4 plates. It's a pretty fancy
So
gym.
those socks, does he have like an extra band on, or are those part of the sock design?
I think they're part of the sock design.
Okay.
It's like part of the sock. Yeah, so what you're doing here, you're wanting to squat the bar up. The deadlift is not a squat at all, right? You want your hips way higher to the point where it feels uncomfortable. Get your gaze out, and to kind of help you to see how high your hips need to be, watch your knees from the side, right? So view yourself or put your camera at the end of the barbell and make sure that your kneecaps are in the crease of your elbow there. So like whenever you set up at the very bottom, you'll notice that your knees jut forward and there's a huge massive yank because you're wanting to squat it up. Get your knees back and your ass up.
Yeah, the 2-second coaching model for a deadlift, if you don't want to have to take someone through an overly elaborate process, is literally like, are the knees mostly flush with the elbows? Are the scapula generally over the bar? You're more or less okay. Make sure those 2 things get done. You want to avoid any sort of unnecessarily dynamic movement. So if you are punching the knees forward and then pulling them back as you start the pull, you're almost going to guarantee bar movement away from the midfoot. Just make it easier on yourself. Think about pulling everything up and back and then making sure those conditions are satisfied. So knees basically flush with the elbows, shoulder blades right over the bar.
Yep. Is Phoebe watching the live stream in the background?
Yeah.
Because if I had to guess what she was watching, it'd be that.
Yep.
Or is she reading some...
she's watching a different live stream.
Twilight
She's
fan
cheating
fiction.
No.
I don't know. I asked her if she wanted to come on. She's like, no, I'm busy.
Nah.
All right. The Incredible Rolk. Been enjoying watching this guy's progress. This is the guy. Oh, he's got his belt on the...
I'm doing both, okay? I'm watching the live.
All right, my man Rolk.
He's got his he's got his belt on the right, sort of nearly at the right.
It is in the normal. It is in the normal configuration.
Yeah.
So the towel is actually it's a good way of indicating if you're actually leg driving somewhat correctly. Because if you aren't sliding up the bench with the towel, then you're not really driving your legs into the ground appropriately. So it's like it needs to be a high friction surface in between your shirt, your shoulder blades, and the bench so that you can drive backwards into it. If you have the towel there, the whole system will just slide up if you're leg driving appropriately. So it's like, unless for some reason the bench is super gross, take the towel off of there and then drive into it. There's a pretty good video on the Starting Strength YouTube. I'm going to say it's Jason Ball maybe. If you just look up like leg drive, starting strength bench, Jason, you'll find it. where he'll go over kind of sitting the arch up and pushing backwards with the legs. But the big thing here is just supporting your arch and getting a good leg drive going on.
Yep. And that I like how actually you set up, Rolk, about how you pin yourself with your shoulder blades more underneath you. I have a lot of clients that just squeeze, and they don't understand that shoulder blades not only retract, but they also kind of downwardly rotate, and it gives you a better position on the bench.
Yeah, like walking them down to your butt is what I'll say.
Exactly.
Because normally it's hard to do both. You kind of have to do like 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Rolk. Another good video. MJDC. I tell you what, if he messages now and says we've already played this video.
The wrong video.
Yeah, I'm done with you, man. I don't reckon.
I think this is the first press we've ever seen from our boy MJ.
It is, yeah.
All right, so what I've noticed too with my clients is that there's kind of a timing issue. You've cleaned it up on the third rep, but I want to see more hips, right? Let the hips do the majority of the work. You're a little bit too early on the press. I want your shoulders to dip more, and that's going to make the bar easier on the way up. Whenever you lock it out, make your biceps touch your ears. Don't press back as much. Because like on that second rep, you almost locked it out behind your ears. And it's going to make it harder to balance over top. Just exaggerate the hips more. Don't worry about the press.
Yeah, throwing the hips for farther or longer doesn't put you into a more vulnerable position. Like people, whenever they're doing it with kind of submaximal weights, they'll think about throwing the hips forward far, and it will feel kind of like disconnected or weak, or like it's not really going to transmit power to the bar. When you violently stand up under it, that's when you're translating that power to it. So you need to give it the opportunity to generate any force. Otherwise, you're just kind of dipping your head out of the way, and that I guess that's still somewhat helpful. But like trust yourself, let that throw bake for a second. And then otherwise, if the top position, this doesn't just go for MJ, but anyone, if the top position feels like unsecure, like it's kind of wobbly, you're not actually locked out. It's either at the elbows or the shoulders. So it's like, think about punching your elbows straight and through and then shrugging the shoulders up farther. It should feel stacked, like you can stay there for a few seconds.
What do you think of the position of the bar in his hands?
He can take it out a little bit better with the way he orients his hands, right? Make sure you make like a diamond with your hands. For the most part, it looks like you're doing that. But as you rotate yourself underneath, you're allowing the wrist bend. Don't, right? Kind of apply some pressure with the bones of your forearm and keep your wrist in a neutral position. But like his grip seems fine and everything like that.
Yep. Cool. All right, MJDC. I actually left a comment and said, thanks. Yeah, I lost balance after rep 4. Do you think a belt would be suitable at this stage?
It would help, but I mean, for the most part, this still looks pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
MJ, widen out your stance too. That'll help your balance.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm already late.
It seems like Alex Mitchell has decided to join us.
Hello.
Alex Mitchell, hello.
Indeed.
How's it going?
Sorry, it's going all right. How about you?
Whoa, why is that over there? Good, fantastic.
How's Valentine's Day, man?
Just wonderful. Just a little delayed. My apologies.
It's all right. Did you get up to much mischief?
Oh no, boring. Takeout food and all this, but we did have a feast, as is
You had to
custom.
hurry up and clean the chocolate off your body before you came in, or what?
I just took a shower. That part was easy. You should have seen. Oh, you almost got me.
I reckon you can put your pop filter down, Alex. You're coming through loud and clear today, so yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it is Mick, and he's making us all out to have horrible microphones.
No,
And
I'm
it's
not.
actually
I'm
just
not
set
at all.
up.
You're coming through.
Actually, some of my boys told me last week, they were like, Alex Mitchell is laughing way too loud. And I was like, okay, I will make sure to tell him whenever he laughs to pull it away.
So that's just Alex Mitchell.
You can actually pull your mic a bit further away because you're coming through pretty loud. Yeah, I reckon about there.
Right.
Alex is an aggressive laugher.
That is a fact, as everyone should be.
That's the way. All right. Well, yeah, we've had a couple of form checks so far. We'll rip into another one.
Sounds good.
We have got Mitch John 46.
He's got a hashtag
the
winning
Christmas
shirt.
edition of those shoes. I did not get a pair of those when those were out, but can't find those.
Those are
anymore.
actually Christmas editions.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, like on the red part of the front, there's like barbells and like Christmas trees and things like that. It's like it's an old Adidas Powerlift. They just reskinned, put some Christmas gear on there.
that's amazing.
Also, his rack says Latin strength.
Yeah, I know. I was just reading that
Which is
now.
awesome.
That's this. There's a lot going on in this video.
What is Latin strength? Is it a? I mean, the plates
You
have it
got
as well.
me. Yeah,
Maybe he teaches Latin and he barbells.
Yeah,
and
this
barbell training.
This is the
Yeah.
Vatican's gym.
Dude, that sounds like a Scott Hambrick thing. That definitely sounds like a Scott Hambrick thing.
What's this guy's name again, Mick?
It's-
Looking
I don't
up
know,
Latin
it's-
strength. If you look up Latin strength, you just get a bunch of dance classes. I don't think this is the dance class.
No.
Oh,
This is a
man.
strength.
That's
Well,
it.
strength would apply to be a better dancer, wouldn't it?
It's a custom-made rack or custom-made design on the outside of the rack.
So this guy's his username is MICH John 46. So I don't know,
I'm
you
just gonna
can
call him John.
yeah.
Well,
John,
MICH John 46, if
The
that
Pope.
is your real name.
John, I'd like to see you get a better grip on the bar. It looks like your hand placement's a little bit too wide. It seems like it's in the right place, but you're just loose with the bar positioning, right? So pinch your shoulder blades together, almost pull the bar down with your fingertips, and stick your chest out. And I think that's gonna really help you at the bottom because you're wanting to collapse and almost hit your depth by just letting your chest sink down.
Yeah, it's what we've said a lot, but you have to acquire that tension. You have to get the shoulder blades, you've got to get the arms together, all that kind of stuff has to happen before you take the weight of the bar. You're never going to get as tight once you've unracked the bar and you've got it on your back.
All right, thanks, Pope John. Let's keep rolling along. We have Phallet. Oh yeah, I remember this guy. And he's
How could we forget?
his rape dog, which is
It's
Oh,
it's
God.
bad that this guy's gonna have the reputation of having dogs
Yeah.
fucking.
Dog
Videos.
screwing behind him.
she was pretty chill tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the thinnest strap safeties I've ever seen.
Yeah, they look like seatbelts or something.
Yeah, it's like strap safety in quotation marks.
But yeah, man. So those straps are screwing you up. You're a little bit high here. You want to move those down.
He's
That-
pausing a bit at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know if he's trying to do pause squats or what, but
He definitely is. Yeah.
just like what Alex K was doing or saying, lower the straps there and then try to get a better grip on the bar. From like what it looks like in the mirror, it looks like you're supporting it with your wrist. Try to go maybe a little bit wider if your shoulder flexibility is not great, and get the kind of the one of these, I forgot the anatomy of the hand, but the crease of this palm here more on top of the barbell.
The lifeline. Is that the lifeline?
Yeah, the lifeline or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
have
we all-
some amount of fingers touching the bar. So if you're completely turned out to the side and then it's like all of your fingers are off the bar, it's just not going to be that stable. So like it's better to widen it out and then be able to actually have a grip onto the bar. You wouldn't think about all the grip is doing is facilitating a tight rack position against your shoulder. Having a more narrow grip isn't a virtue that you should be chasing on its own. Okay, so it's just like if your back is already tight and you can secure the bar with that wider grip, you don't need to think more narrow, because it's like people with longer forearms, I deal with it myself, my hand's just going to pop off the bar completely. You know?
Aeon in the chat said Thenar Eminence. I have no idea what that means. But,
I think that's a Latin
Peace be
strength
with you
thing.
too.
I have no idea.
What was that? Say that again?
That's the part of the hand.
right.
Said peace be
Talking
with you
about
too.
our eminence.
Oh.
There's a question on Reddit. I thought I'd ask this. Is there a program for increasing mobility on off days? This guy says he's 44 and struggling a bit. He's nearly 3 months in and can't get his arms, shoulders to work right for squats. And his grip's so wide that he's basically pushing against the plates. And I won't read the rest because it's all stuff. What do you reckon?
I mean, we've talked so many times. Are we going to talk again about shoulder flexibility and mobility?
Look up Paul Horn's barbell stretch on YouTube. That's a pretty good one. You don't need to do any mobility exercises on your recovery day. Just take like a minute before actually doing like your empty bar sets and just stretch out just like that. Put yourself into a grip that you can facilitate and just shove yourself as deep as you can underneath the barbell and hold that for 30 seconds. Do that every time that you have a warm-up set and your working sets.
Have you ever tried doing that stretch but not holding for 30 seconds and instead just like having them just attain the position, come out, attain the position, come out, attain the position again?
I do it that way, the way that you're mentioning. Yeah.
Yeah, I found that I work with Gen Pop clients and they're all like, "Oh, that hurts. I don't want to ever do it again." So it's that seems to work really, really well. I'm not sure exactly why, but yeah.
All right, keep chugging along. MCGU 2888.
I don't think I've been on the internet for quite some time. I don't think I've ever had a username like this ever.
Oh, you haven't?
Who makes usernames?
You never
like
played
this?
RuneScape, dude.
I did. My RuneScape username, it's been the same online alias since like 2005, man.
And it is.
I can't expose that information.
Oh, I was so excited. I was Big Boom 565.
Big Boom 565.
I feel like we should mute your microphone for a few minutes after that, Alex Mitchell. That's
old school
terrible.
RuneScape, man. Truly.
Yeah,
Truly
dude.
a good time.
We've got multiple angles here going on from
All right.
MCGU 2888.
If that is your real name. Getting a lot of grip stuff this go around, aren't we?
I think this is probably the best you're going to get out of that grip.
Yeah. That's still high bar, yeah.
I'd hips back a little, focus more on sending everything towards your heels. You may want to widen up at the heels as well, may have an easier time dissipating some of your femur length. But I would say everything's sliding forward a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think he's probably setting his knees or worrying about that too much. I want to see his hips and knees set at the same time, and then widen up the stance just a little bit.
I think his toe angle's a bit severe.
His knees are tracking with it,
Toe angle.
so I don't mind.
I don't think
really
that's
mind.
a problem.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem either.
Some people just have to take that. Does the bar scoot up? Do you guys see the bar scooting up on his shoulders through the set? Or am I imagining that?
Yeah, upper back's just getting tired. It folds a little bit. I mean, I think that's a training function more than the actual technique.
Could be.
Yeah, in those later reps, he's kind of wanting to bounce off his knees, and you can kind of see the chest want to tilt forward with it.
I see with a lot of dudes who are over 50, and I'm making the assumption this guy isn't 25. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I see with a lot of dudes who are over 50 who have some shoulder flexibility stuff that they really, really, really try to force the low bar, and I can just say, like, if the low bar isn't going to happen, it's not going to happen. If you fix everything else and the bar keeps scooting up through the set, just go high bar or go mid bar. Go wherever the bar is most secure and doesn't move at all, period, end of story, throughout the set.
And the Q set is different. So it's like if you are in a high bar position, you're thinking that you need to lean over, you may not need to. You very likely don't need to. So it's like for this guy, like cueing a more chest up position while making sure the knees are anchored, that's probably a better priority for you.
Yeah.
Question from Stephen Lewis, or Louis, I don't know how that's pronounced, but anyway. Any tips for inner elbow pain after squats?
Oh boy.
It's probably your grip, man. You're supporting the bar with your hands, not your back. So you need to make sure that you're not doing that and you have a proper grip.
Just get up on the mic, Chase, a bit more if you could. Thanks.
Yep.
Have we seen any of his squats before?
I think
I
we
know
actually
we saw a bench and a press from him.
What have we got? We have got a video from him today, I think. No, we don't. Let me see if I got a squat video for him from next week.
But yeah, so generally, inner elbow pain like that, it's kind of a function of people attempting to crank into the bar, like doing this motion around it. So if you're using a cue set of thinking like, I need to bend the bar around my back, some powerlifters say that. I've never been a big fan of that cue. If you're trying to do that, stop doing that immediately. You want to think about the hands just as clasps that go onto the bar to secure it to your back. Your back is carrying all of the load. So if it feels like you're routing weight through your wrists and elbows, stop that immediately, even if you need to widen the hands up.
Yep. I've got a power clean and a deadlift video for this guy. So, not a squat one though. Okay, let's keep rolling along. We have Jaisalmed.
I hope this is a press now.
Nope.
Snatch
No
balance.
After this, I want to hear what you all think about squatting on carpet.
I had to do it for a while. It sucks.
Did you really?
Well, the thing is, it looks like it's actually if you look in the background, it looks like are there some tiles?
Dude's in an apartment. Like, maybe.
I reckon there's tile. I reckon it looks like a rug or something.
No, that's
if there's tile, yeah, move your rack, dude.
Yeah. Honestly, if people have a setup like this, I always just tell them just to take it outside. I had to do that a lot for some of the home gym guys who were just like, yeah, I don't have my platform made yet. Where am I supposed to deadlift? And it's like, you're already working out. Carry your plates outside. Don't be lazy about it.
Good point. Yeah.
If there's probably a hard surface for you to squat on somewhere outside. But yeah, these are really solid high bar squats, my man.
Yeah, these are like textbook.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we recommend low bar for lots of reasons, which may not facilitate you at this point in time. But that's going to be a lower bar position, leaning over more, and then squatting more with your hips rather than with your knees. But yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for.
Only thing I want to see with these is I want more weight on it. I want way more weight on the bar.
Yeah, he's doing these easy.
This looks like nothing.
Yep. All right, Jaisalmed, thanks for the video. Jay Botch.
A lot of J's today.
It's true.
Do you do this in alphabetical order, Mick, or no?
We're doing reverse alphabetical order today, so.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fancy.
I know.
All right, this guy has quite the home gym. I love it.
It does. Giving us a single
This
as
is
well.
a lot. Dude, he's got a GHD? I don't even have a GHD. Jealous.
Yeah, this guy's all rogued out, man.
Dude.
Yeah, man, you
He's
gotta go
got
about
geese in the background.
Yeah, some ducks or something going on there. Yeah.
you gotta go about 2 inches lower on this, right? Kick out the knees, stay leaned over as you come up. Think about driving the hips. This is a heavy single, so you can't really prep yourself too much, right? In the sense that you can't manage so many cues in your brain. You gotta have to distill it down to one cue, and if you're constantly raising your chest on the singles, you gotta just think hips or lean over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're squatting in pulling shoes. I think you wouldn't really have to change anything in your brain. If you just put on squat shoes, it would be able to send you to depth. We recommend squat shoes for lots of reasons. And then with that belt, if you're using a Velcro belt, like I have to use one right now, they're not the greatest. You want to turn it around so that the part with a latch on it is on your back, right? Because that part doesn't actually need the structural support.
I think that's
a Velcro
the
zoom
Amazon. Are you sure?
It looks like a Velcro
Pull it
belt
up
to me.
again. I can
Mick, enhance.
zoom and enhance. I think it's the Amazon super teeny thin leather belt. What's it
In that
called?
case, this man's broken my heart because he has Rogue everything. He's wearing Rogue
I
underwear,
know.
and then he doesn't have
Let's
the
give
Rogue
him
I
belt.
know.
yeah,
I'm
let's give him the
almost
benefit of the
positive.
doubt. It's
Hold
the
on.
road belt.
But yeah, so if that is a
Okay.
Velcro belt, rotate it around so the latch isn't on your abdomen. But yeah, squat shoes would fix this, and then just ride it down a little bit deeper, my man.
I reckon those are indoor soccer shoes as
Dark
well.
Iron Fitness. That's the one. It's like a millimeter thick.
I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah, the bane of my existence.
Oh, it's terrible. How many clients I've seen walk in like that?
Thank you. What was that guy's name? Botch. Thanks, Botch. Hardy is up next. We've had this guy on. This guy's been churning through the videos.
I think this was submitted by the same dude, but is his friend. Because this is the same rack as before. Yeah. But this guy's calves are way smaller than the other guys.
Yeah. I thought those what he was doing at the start were actually his squats, and I was going to say those are like 8th squats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think your boy does not know how to set his back into extension. So I'd be interested to see the deadlift. But the thing that we need here is like when he's standing at the top, you need about squeezing your chest up really, really far, and then kind of squeezing your lower back up and behind you, squeezing your butt up and back and behind you. So it's like if you're starting kind of in that curly Q question mark position, you're not going to be able to pull extension out of somewhere on the way down. You want to start as extended and rigid as you can and then ride that down. Like the movement comes from your hips. The movement doesn't come from your spine bending and reaching down to the ground. A lot of people who have hesitation before the rep starts, like this guy was talking about, their back is completely loose. So you want to jam them into some position of extension, and then you'll have a much better time squatting.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube about how to set their back, and they're just hesitating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he does some weird stuff at the start. He's getting himself in a position, then he does kind of I don't know, he's kind of weird, like he'll do this little bounce. Yeah, like there, right there.
A little confidence
He's
bounce.
also, this is something we see a lot, which is like his right leg is about an inch, could be even like 2 inches forward of his left leg.
That's true, yeah.
Which a lot of people will do that. It's just like some funky stuff you got going on with your legs. Just something to keep your mind out for, so my right leg, just pull it back a little bit.
Question. So people like this, it's the reason why I will oftentimes teach the deadlift first if I'm getting a new person, just so I already get back extension out of the way. I don't know if you guys ever do that.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's really hard to get, especially someone like this this guy's young and athletic, but like if they're detrained, getting them into the extension after they've done squats and after they've done presses and all that kind of stuff, and they're tired and spent. Be really, really hard.
Yeah. Doing a set of 1 deadlifts after you've squatted and pressed it's brutal. Well, that's not beating around the bush. It's hard work.
That's why everyone skips their deadlifts.
Do they? How many people skip their deadlifts?
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
That's
Rip
the thing.
even has like an article about it.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's super duper a thing.
All right. Thanks, Hardy's mate. Gunsman.
While this is playing, I always think that like what you were talking about, Alex Mitchell skipping the deadlift, that'd be one of the awesome reasons to train or work at an SS gym. It's because like the overwhelming peer pressure to not be a baby and get your reps done, and then do all of your movements is insurmountably high.
Well,
like no one's going to be like, I just don't feel like it today.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason you work out with a group of powerlifters at a public gym. Like it's there's a lot of other stuff going on over there, but you don't pussy out, if I'm allowed to say that.
How dare you, Alex Mitchell?
How dare?
On our politically correct alt-right
Yeah.
barbell club.
Gunsman, man, you got to send your hips back way more than that. You're just wanting a kind of high bar or low bar. And yeah, you have a long torso, but I want to see your knee freeze a little bit sooner and stretch back with your ass, right? Touch the wall behind you with your butthole.
Yeah,
That was
do
great.
a little more
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Also, I think this guy has like size 17 feet. By the way.
They're
Is that
huge.
just me?
Yeah, they're pretty
God.
big.
They are
Pretty
skis.
big.
Can you walk on water? Like
When he's squatting, I'm like, yeah, this guy, they're basically as long as his femur is.
I didn't even notice that. His feet are
Yeah,
as
it's
long
like
as
some
his
Kingdom
tibia.
Hearts shoes.
Like,
Yeah.
holy God, that's incredible.
For a normal person, would probably say his knees are way out in front of his toes, but for this guy, they're actually tracking in line.
No, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. I would love to know his foot to tibia ratio.
You just invented something, Alex Mitchell.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Gunsman with giant feet. Race against hunger. Okay. I've got a question.
It's going to be about 2 steps for you, man.
That was good. Mr. Dr. Sir said, do you guys think you could convince Nick Delgadillo to do a deadlift and squat advanced programming video like he did with the press and bench? I'll pull money to help bribe him.
I mean, there's really no secret advanced
You might be
thing.
overthinking it. Yeah, you might be overthinking it.
With the lower body stuff, or like the squat and the deadlift, they respond better over time with less frequency, maybe a tiny bit of exercise selection, but for the most part, you just have to tweak volume and intensity. With the deadlift, it's maybe a little bit more with the exercise selection, but for the most part, it's not going to be as glamorous or as, sexy as like the press or the bench, where you can do like, slingshot, pin press, all this crazy shit.
Yeah. Like Kay said,
I think
squids are squids.
Yes, they are squids indeed. Yeah, I think that like people who are actually relying on advanced programming at that point, they are actual strength athletes. So I compete in powerlifting, I compete in strength lifting. And at that point, it is much more based off of your competition seasons than anything. So if you're kind of aware, and kind of that's up in the air now with COVID stuff, but if you're aware, like, all right, well, I have my, I'd say my next competition, let's say 16 months from now, a bigger part of your brain power and programming needs to go to, all right, well, I have enough time for 2 practice peaks before then, where I need to figure out how many exposures to a lift it takes before my performance actually peaks. And then kind of working backwards from your competition date to see when you actually need to start your taper or when you need to start your peaking process. Because by that point in your programming, you already know which accessories that you respond the best to. So you'll know if like a pin squat drives your primary squat up, or if a block pull drives your normal deadlift, or if it's actually a deficit. So it's like when you're in advanced, you have all of the data points of intermediate training behind you. So it's so individual that like advanced programming, you can kind of talk, heuristics, but no one can be like, well, the true secret is to do a 3-inch block pull as opposed to a 4-inch block pull. Doesn't really work like that.
Inches matter, Alex.
They do.
Every inch matters.
They do. I'm only 4'9". I know what you're talking about.
Got a question from Korea, and I'm going to have a go at pronouncing this guy's name because I can read Korean. Sepende Hepoja is this guy's name. He said, I'm Korean. And recently I read... That's it. That's all there is.
Email. Next email.
He said, recently I read Starting Strength and it was great. Can you recommend another book about strength training?
Yeah, practical programming.
Heidi-ho.
Practical programming for strength
That's
training.
what MJDC replied and said, practical programming. So.
Yeah, store, Asgard, asgard.com, whatever store.
And
they have books in there.
please do yourself a favor. Read the first, like right before it gets to the programming recommendations on practical programming. Read that part of the book, and then read that part of the book again, and then sort of like block off all the programs in your brain and just read the text, and then you can look at the programs after. That's fine. You can look at them after, but don't get distracted by them, please.
The secret to practical programming is flip to the end of it, find something that looks cool, do it yourself.
Find Texas method and run it.
Run it, yes.
Just run Texas method, dude. Yeah.
And there's a couple of starting strength coaches in Korea. You can look them up. They're both good guys. So yeah, it's one of the few countries outside the US that has a couple of starting strength coaches. All right, so let's plow on with another video. We have why have I got lost here? Frank Basile. He's got his director's chair there in the.
This is the guy with the 100-year-old platform. I remember.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's a little table.
What do we got on here? 285, something like that.
Looks like.
Hell yeah, he has Purple Rain playing.
It is. Nice pickup, Chase.
Well, so the funny story, I actually pulled a heavy set of 5. I think it was a PR at the time to Purple Rain in Rip's gym. So power on. dude.
Rip wasn't there at the time, though, was he?
No, this was about the time that Prince died, and every station basically had Prince playing.
Yep.
So
There's no chance in hell Rip would let Prince be on the stereo at the gym.
That's one of his guilty pleasures, actually. He listens to Prince when he's home alone.
I wish, dude.
Prince is awesome. One of the all-time great guitarists.
Exactly.
All right, boys, what do we think about these deadlifts here?
I think he has his ass a little bit too low. I can see, just like that the video previous, your knees are a little bit too far forward. I think for some reason you thought the deadlift shoes may be throwing you off. No, man. Put those things back on, your lifters, and just get your ass up a little bit higher. If anything, if you feel like you can't get yourself into a better position, maybe widen out the stance a little bit, but you're just going to have to get your ass up a little bit higher and push.
Yeah, it's gonna feel really weird because you're gonna be super horizontal and yet you're gonna want to make your chest feel like it's vertical. So don't get those two confused. You don't do this to get vertical. You're just gonna open up your rib cage, squeeze those nipples up to the wall in front of you. You're not trying to get vertical with your back angle. You're just trying to open up that rib cage. Don't confuse the two.
I'm glad that we, as coaches, get to use the word butthole and nipples in a professional context.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Truly a blessed job.
Drop your dick to the ground. That's another one, isn't it?
Drop your dick between your knees. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although I've had a lot of success nowadays just teaching people how to twerk a little bit, and
yeah, I do remember showing that back extension. Yeah.
Right there, yeah, they get lumbar extension right there.
Especially with the masters population coming out of post-op, they're like, "Man, I've been waiting to do this for months."
Yeah, dude. Yeah. You got it.
Jeff Riggins, how did the press 2.0 end up becoming about? Just getting limited by the bounce via the hips versus too much knee bend in the push press.
It's talking about like the Olympics.
I think he said the origins of the 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So there was I want to say it's like Rip teaches the press 2.0. It's one of the SSC conferences. It's a YouTube video of it a while back. He talks about it. But you'll have to dig around the YouTube for that video. Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was just them having to deal with the mechanical problem of getting the head out of the way once the press becomes sufficiently heavy. And then people in the Olympics had already been doing it, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Steve A. Rogers said, don't forget Rip's proud titties. As a cue.
I've never heard him say that.
I was about to say, I don't think that he's ever said proud titties.
I saying
show your
titties.
tits off. He said show your tits off.
Yeah.
I use that
show your
too,
tits off.
But
what does he say at the gym, though?
Nice.
Yeah, he would say
Classic
show your tits
Nick.
off.
Damn it. I took a risk. Didn't work. You got to do it. All right. Who's up next? We've got Brandon.
I love it already, man.
we don't need to. We don't even need to finish this video.
This man's. Whose man's is this?
Just
This
white
is-
t-shirt
wow.
tucked in.
Yeah, he came out in like 1950s and just said, "I'm gonna squat."
No, he just started watching.
What year
Mad
is
Men,
it? I don't
and
know.
He's like, man, this show's really
You
cool.
gotta.
I just want to see what shoes he's wearing as well.
If I did this in jeans, they would tear before I got halfway down.
Yeah. You got to get the bar lower if you're gonna low bar squat. Better placement. Wear something less constricting. I mean, you're able to hit depth and stuff, which is cool, but eventually, as you get bigger, this is going to be a problem. Wear some correct gym attire, and start by leaning over, put your nipples to the floor, and bending your knees at the same time.
Yeah, if you rewatch this and just kind of focus on the back of your head, you'll notice that you kind of like chuck your head forward in an attempt to lean over during this. We don't want you thinking about it like that. Think about like the lean is coming at your hips. The whole torso is leaning over in one unit. You're not punching your head forward to start that leaning process. Moving the bar down will definitely help with that. But you want to think about keeping basically everything above your belly button as rigid as you can, and then kind of dropping it down to the ground below that. But do some chin-ups, man. You're a thin dude. Eat some food. Do some chins.
Yeah, eat a lot of food.
Do you think this is how Levi invented their stretch jeans? They just have like a bunch of dudes just doing squats.
Those things are
at the
light.
factory.
I have torn probably 4 or 5 pairs of those. That is
Doing what?
that's a
Really?
big brand.
The athletic 514 or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is? The 511s?
yeah.
Or I forget which one it
Oh,
is.
100%. Although I
That's
have
really
some,
weird.
I apparently have horrible proportions. I already had big thighs when I was 100.
I believe you.
And then I squatted.
Don't need to convince
I
me,
have,
Alex.
I have a pair of.
Stop
I have a
boasting.
pair
No, I'll
of
show you.
Wranglers.
Show us the donka please. No.
Bulbous thighs. Sounds like starting strength could, branch out into jeans, like for
I
people
hope
with
so
thick
because
thighs.
I
Gotta
can't
check
find jeans anymore. Like I have a pair of jeans that are 42, 32, and that's like a number unheard of because my waist looks like I've
That's
lost
awesome.
500 pounds, but they fit my ass and thighs perfectly.
Exactly.
And it looks ridiculous. It's stupid.
Yeah. You buy pants that were made for like a really, really chubby dude. Really, really chubby, shortish shirt.
Chase,
Yeah.
recommendation, Lululemon 4-way stretch.
I refuse.
Go to their chino section. They're amazing.
The problem is
amazing,
then you're
man.
wearing Lululemon and there's a whole nother problem.
Yeah,
I think a kilt is the way to go for you, Chase.
I think so too.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Yep. And you don't have to wear underwear anymore as well, so it's a double win.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay. Cool. We got Benny from Sweden. He's got his squat shoes.
In the dark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is
He's
winter
in
over
the
there.
dark.
They have about 20 minutes of sunlight a day, so
That's true. I thought they were up to like 35 now.
wow. Yeah, I think they're probably past that point.
Yeah, my man. Kind of similar thoughts to Marlon Brando before this. Pull your head back over your shoulders. This is not like a head-driven movement. So if you're looking directly straight down at the floor in between your feet, your frame of reference is going to be all off, and you're going to be reaching for depth with your face. We don't want you to do that. So think about squeezing your chest up, pulling your elbows down a little bit more. I would widen the grip up so you can get the wrist straight to facilitate a better position. And then think about getting depth by dropping your butt straight down rather than shoving your face down.
Yeah, that butt straight down cue works wonders with people who are trying to do this.
Yep. All right. Anything else with Ben?
Nah, man.
All good.
Some ample lighting or something, but
Yeah,
Ample
dude.
lighting. Well, he
Just
was
put
the
some
guy that.
candles on.
Yeah, he was the guy that had 7 monitors around him. with
yeah,
all-
true. He had like the Dance Revolution.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was squat Revolution. Yeah.
Okay.
We got a bunch of comments about the jeans. Jeff Riggin said he'll rip pants bending over at work. Dimitri Magirius tried Denver Haze, Chase. I guess
Denver Haze.
that's a
That sounds like weed, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just chill out,
Strand.
man.
Maybe it's just for anxiety.
So
it's not even jeans.
let me ask you guys, for pants that you don't tear, how do you deal with the fact that your thighs are in constant contact with each other and that wears a hole in and of itself?
I'm used to that. That's just been.
That's just the typical wear
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah.
But if you just
yeah,
get
well,
very
like,
expensive space age materials, they don't do that.
they don't. Yeah,
I've come.
I know.
I'm now to the point where I'm wearing holes in my gym shorts where the adductors are. And I'm like, hey, this is impossible because gym
That's
shorts
awesome.
aren't supposed to do that. But I've done that.
Right,
several
the
Just
friction
times.
carry a
coefficient
grease gun
is-
with you all the time and then just
Yep.
lube it
Yep.
up, buddy.
Yep.
Yeah, then you've got grease right on your crotch. That looks really good.
No, but really, Chase, I can't recommend. I have some guys with some ridiculous junk in the trunk, and then they switch
Oh,
to the
yeah.
Lululemon four-way stretch, and they're made specifically for these use scenarios. I can't recommend.
No, it's
them.
true. I know a guy who deadlifts like 760, and he's got tree trunks. Same thing.
Yep.
Awesome. I'll get the Lululemon then.
He also worked at Lululemon, so that helped.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's the way to go.
By the way, if anybody wants an amazing, I didn't believe this until I actually looked it up. Look up at how Lululemon got its name. Didn't you guys, Mick? I feel like you would know this one.
Well, why would I know this? What are you suggesting?
I don't know. Look at you.
You're insinuating.
You look like you do yoga. No, but so the guy who did Lululemon wanted to tap into the Chinese, Japanese, Korean market, and then they wanted to have a name that sounded incredibly foreign. So he picked the syllable that Asian languages typically can't say, which is an L, and then he wanted to come up with a name that had 3 L's in it. So literally, it was a guy from marketing who was like, we need to make it the most foreign name possible, so we're going to call it Lululemon. That way they'll be like, this has to be American. It has to be American. No Chinese company would ever put 3 L's in its name. And it worked. Now it's an incredibly successful brand.
We're getting a bit of hate in the comments about Lululemon.
True story. Look it up.
I'm reading it right now. That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Genius.
One of my guys told me this, and I was like, that has to be fake.
That has to be fake.
Yeah. We're getting a bit of hate in the comments from our one Korean viewer. He said, is this the Lululemon home shopping broadcast?
It is now, buddy.
Mags against sale.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man.
Well, we've just been banned again.
Yep.
We actually do have a question from Nicholas Nert. How hard do you guys try to hit 200 grams of protein per day?
I'm trying to go over.
I mean, after a while, you're not really.
That's
trying
breakfast for Chase.
Yeah, I was about to say Chase is hitting like 600 grams.
No,
yeah, if you just adjust your purchasing at the grocery store, it's not difficult at all.
Yeah,
200 is not bad.
Yeah.
Just wait till you're like the mountain and you've got to eat like 10,000 calories a day.
It's a dream,
like a
really,
shake. Yeah, a shake that has 25 grams per scoop. You put in 3, and it's literally like 2/3 of it gone right there, or
Done.
however many scoops, and that's just in one serving right there.
Yep. Okie dokes. We've got a couple more videos. We've got one more video. B case. I'm excited for this one.
It's an elliptical form check.
Yep.
He just gets.
I was wondering.
Am I doing this right?
I have never been able to feel confident while on an elliptical. I always feel like
B case. Are you a cyclist, man? You have very lean calves, and your stomach.
Yeah,
is not
those
that
are
lean.
definitely
Holy shit,
cyclist
man, those are
calves.
You have like show ready
no
calves
way.
for some reason.
There's no way he's not, dude.
That's elliptical work. All elliptical.
That or a climber.
He's ready for the
See
show,
that in,
man.
like- oh my god.
I'm jealous.
That's
We're all
wild.
jealous here. I'm not even looking at the squats.
Yeah.
Just looking at
Calves
calves
are
right now.
just peeled.
Yeah. Oh, he was squatting? Wow. I
Very
didn't even
impressive.
notice.
I think the stance is probably wide. Probably pull the heels in a little bit, given what we could see there.
This is a really weird space. They've got a rogue rack and rogue plates, and then one of those crappy squat racks. The Cybex. Or is that a bench? That's a bench.
All right, what are you guys thinking about the squid here?
I like him to lean over a little bit sooner, but other than that, like you said, the stance seems a little bit wide. Overall, these really aren't that bad. Lean over a little bit more and think more hips on the way up.
I just want to see a quad sweep. It would be amazing if his legs were just like 6% body fat all the time, and his top.
He
is just
looks like
fluffy
he's
for
pretty
some
lean. Look
reason.
at his arms. I mean, he's,
Now you can see the outline in his shirt. His abdomen's carrying a lot of fat in it, but for some reason his calves are like ready for the stage.
Oh, I see.
You're like, what the hell is going on, man? Very
He
confusing
like
body
jumps everywhere.
case.
I don't know. Maybe he jumps everywhere instead of walks.
he's just jump roping to work.
He's a human kangaroo.
He's just jump roping.
Who knows? One of my friends worked at like a psych ward for a summer rotation. They were trying to get into medical school, And he said there was this one gentleman who had like some sort of compulsive disorder where essentially he would like pick his legs up in a chair and then just kind of like rock back and forth constantly. Apparently, shredded abs. He would do that most hours of the day. But he just walked around just very thin skin on the abdomen, just peeled to the core because he was constantly just like rocking back and forth in his chair. And I was like, nice. Way to go, man.
Ready, show ready. Right?
Yeah. All right. Calves. I don't know what his name was, but it's going to be Calves. Dimitri asked, when would you recommend someone to pull in flats? Or what anthropometry would be better for pulling deadlifts in flats?
When you pull more than 700 pounds or something really fucking high, you can have the opinion on whatever footwear you want. But your legs are probably fine. You may have to just manipulate the toe angle and maybe stance width. That's about it.
And there are some clients I have who have a really, 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 really hard time finding their midfoot in squat shoes, and they have disposable income to go ahead and buy a flat pair of deadlift shoes. Like, sure, why not? But
yeah, I've had some people who have like relatively short torsos who are like, "Hey, I got Reebok Legacies. My deadlifts feel weird." And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's like you're squatting in like a little bit over an inch of a heel, and you already have a short torso. This is going to feel like crap. In that case, you could switch. But like, if you're going with a pretty standard Adidas shoe, and a lot of times those are like they don't even really feel like half an inch. It's basically already there.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we've done it, fellas. I think we got through all the videos. Let me just see if there's anything we missed. No, I think we're good. So, Alex Koseri, where can people find you online if they want to?
There should be a link somewhere on your screen.
Have you got an affiliate?
Yeah. If you just want to send physique pictures back and forth, just two men celebrating each other's bodies, you can find me on the Starting Strength subreddit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I am alone this Valentine's Day. But you can send me anything either on the SS Reddit or find me at the website below. I do online coaching, as do the rest of the lads here. So.
Yep. Chase, where can people DM you and with Jort's recommendations?
Instagram, just Chase Lindley.
Alex Mitchell.
Yep, you can find me at Stronger Now on Instagram and on Facebook. I have a token presence there, so feel free to message me. I'll get back to you in like a month and a half, maybe, best. Much better if you contact me either alex@strongernowgym.com or if you're in the Atlanta area, you can go on that website and book an appointment with me. I also do online coaching, as do the other lads here, and I specialize in clients who are master's clients over the age of 50, really, or clients who have specific contraindications that make it kind of funky to just do the program or just go to LA Fitness and work out.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thanks guys for taking the time, and thanks everyone for submitting videos and questions. We will be back next week.
See you
guys.
All
right, boys. See you.